I've been on and off a couple of times. I think I'm on. Hello. Good evening. Hey, Jim Chang. Hi, Dan. Coast to coast. RP in the house. So we have a lot going on, but good evening. But I'm excited because I have a dear friend, hi Julie, that's about to come on board. His name is Lanza, Lanza. Hello, Lisa Mammina, Lisa F. Mammina, my sister. Marianne Johns. I have to wave to my sister. Yomo. Not cool, but I understand. A lot of people are going virtual. Okay, so can you guys hear me, or should I try this microphone? Dan, say hello to those ladies over there. Lisa, you've been to Velo Pizza in Napa Valley, VELO in Napa. The owner's my friend. He's here right now. Dan. We've been friends. Oh, Lisa, not only that, he was the GM at Beetle Nut. Beetle Nut was our hang for years. So, Dan, I would love to have you on sometime. Love to have you on the show. West Coast in. We have Pennsylvania. You like the microphone? Low volume? I just put the mic in. Now, last night with the mic, there was this on the lower part. Hi, Gordon. Gordon Studer. Gordon. Love the green beans and scallion cakes at Beetle Nut, right? Emily Clee, Chicago. Now you can hear me. Okay, so I have, but you don't have, there isn't a, aren't they cool? I bought them in Mexico. The mic is good, okay. But last night, and I learned this from Keith Terry. So, yeah, Dan, if you're here, I bet, ooh, Dan, you could make those beans for us. But Gordon Studer, if you're still here, to 11:11 with Jenna. Come. So, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Bartender friend at Beetle Nut. Ginger Flower. Sonoma. Elena Welch. Hi. Wow. Hey, everybody. This is crazy. It's crazy. Tomorrow night, my friend Coquelicot, Gilon, will be here. And we dive. Ginger, if you're around tomorrow night. Thanks, Dave. Hi. Aloha. I love you too. I miss you. Coquelicot, tomorrow night. Well, that's why tomorrow night is an interesting night to be here, because she comes from another place. And nice to see you, Gordon. Please consider an invite. Anybody that's on here right now? Oh, that's right, Jupiter. Dan was at Jupiter in Berkeley. But what years were you at Beetle Nut? Dan, I just want you on the show. Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah, we loved our Beetle Nut. And I love Jupiter. I perform at Jupiter. Janelle Michelle Burdell in the house. I got another buddy of mine coming on. Yeah. Wait, what am I no weighing to? Beetle Nut? Oh, yeah. Oh, Jupiter. Yeah, Janelle, I think you've probably played at Jupiter. I'm sure. So everybody, community and connection. Janelle's a drummer from Pittsburgh. Ginger is a Berkeley girl through and through, but lives in Sonoma. Dan's in Napa. Gordon, I think, aren't you in Napa now? You were at Emeryville for many years. Crazy cool artist. Gordon Studer. Google Gordon Studer. Check out. Ah, sorry. I have a balancing act going on here. A lot of people. Thanks, you guys. So my friend tonight. Oh, hi, Michelle Worthington. Hi. Mary's daughter, Lisa Michelle Worthington's on. Ooh, hi, Michelle. Does mom's hair. Rosemary, hi. Dee Dee sent me a really beautiful video from Manhattan tonight. Thank you so much. Check me out. Jenna Mammina. Oh, wait. For those of you that were here the other night with Keith Terry. Sunday night show had Keith Terry. I call him the music man. He's the body music guy. He does all this stuff. I'm not making fun. I'm just like quickly trying to do a little bit of what he does. Check out Sunday's show if you want to see a really beautiful performance and kind spirit and lovely human being. Kind of like the person that's about to come on here. His name is Lou Lanza. We met, he'll know exactly the year. Very Bobby McFerrin. Well, they've worked together quite a bit. There's a whole crew of us in the Bay Area that worked with Bobby, and people that he works with in another group work with Bobby in Voicestra. Yeah, very cool, Keith Terry. Hashtag, everyone could hashtag their own name here tonight because everybody's so cool. We're so cool. But Dee Dee, thank you for the video from, I could show you a little bit of it. She sent me a couple videos. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Trying. Ooh, it won't play. Wow. Oh, here we go. That was Manhattan tonight. Mama Grace is saying hi. 1995-96. Hi, Dawn. Manhattan in the house. The Village. Thank you, Dee Dee. Hi, Dawn. It looks, people were Manhattan. Now live helicopters because Bobby's a good soul. Oh, I'm getting dizzy. Thank you, Dee Dee. Yeah, Bobby is a good soul. So 95-96, Washington Square Park. Yep. I'm going to call Lou Lanza because he's got kids and probably needs to wake up with them. Well, we'll find out what his life is like. I don't know what his life is like in that way. But I'm really happy that you're here. And Mom, I'm glad that you're here. And Lisa and Michelle and Lou Lanza.
Hey, Jenna, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. You knocked off my black tooth, my blue tooth, but whatever.
How'd I do that?
I don't know. I was on, but it came off. That's cool.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's why, because it was feeding back.
Maybe.
And then I went, knock out his Bluetooth, and now it's going.
It's cool. I hear you just fine, and hopefully I look okay.
You look fabulous. Lou Lanza, everybody. There are people coast to coast, and you are where right now?
I'm in a place just south of Philadelphia called Wallingford. I call it Wally World. I also call it Lower Whitelandia, but those are my nicknames for it. But it's a very nice suburb, good for raising a family, and it's a very nice town.
And you have 2 kids?
I do.
And they are how old?
Lewis is 11, and Ella just turned 8 last Monday.
Lewis and Ella.
Not named for them, although there are worse people to be named after.
Really? Who are they named for?
Well,
what was the...
I am Louis the Third, so he is Louis the Fourth.
Okay.
So father and grandfather. And Ella, when we knew we were having a girl, my wife and I, we were trying to figure out what to name her. And we wanted her to have a unique name because I had kind of, let's just say, used up the legacy naming for the family. So a relative of mine knew that my mother and my wife had gone to the same high school many years apart, and that the name of that high school is Little Flower High School for Girls in Philadelphia. And you probably know this. Fiorella is Little Flower in Italian. And they said, why don't you call her Fiorella? And my wife and I said, well, that sounds like therapy waiting to happen, but why don't we just shorten it to Ella? And that's how we came up with the name. Now, the fact that it is named after 2 just wonderful jazz singers that I admire and that Kelly loves too is purely a wonderful coincidence. We have 2 framed album covers between their rooms. Lewis and Ella album covers, which seems quite natural. And that's just a happy coincidence, but they were not named for them. I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
Well, I'd love to meet them sometime. I look forward to that. Because Rolf and I play, so we go, he's in New Jersey, so I'll fly to New Jersey and we drive to, hello Melanie, we drive to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. So we drive by, every time we drive by Allentown, we both go, so we're living here in Allentown.
My son can sing a mean version of that for an 11-year-old.
Really? Is he a Billy Joel fan or just of that song?
He's a Billy Joel fan.
Yay.
Yeah, there are worse people to be fans of.
I love Billy Joel. I do.
So it's fun.
I do. So, was it 95, 96, you think, that we met?
I'm pretty sure it was 96. It was at IAJE. And the reason I'm thinking it was 96 is my first... Oh, it looks like there's a pause.
I'm getting a pause and I'm declining. Sorry, that's a phone call I was getting. Hi, Clayton Call.
Ah, okay.
Clayton Call.
I'm pretty sure it was 96 because my first album came out in February of 95. And so I think I was hip to it for the following year. And I want to say that would have been the year it was in New Orleans.
When it was at the Sheraton.
The Superdome.
The Superdome and next to the Sheraton? Connected to the Sheraton?
Yes, they're connected. They were connected.
Mm-hmm. No, not the Sheraton. The Hyatt.
I don't know from hotel names. But yeah, it's connected to a hotel. Whichever hotel is connected, the people in New Orleans can correct me all they want because they were wonderful down there. Just some of the nicest people I've met in the whole country.
Oh, it's one of my favorite. It's my go-to as often as I can possibly get there. So yes, but that's where we met. Okay, IAJE at the Superdome, and we're both. He's a vocalist. I apologize, Lou. I started to play the music, and then I went, wait. We had a conversation about that, and to acknowledge.
It's cool either way. I'm not going to lose sleep. We're trying to make our own way in this brave new world.
Yeah, I call it the now norm.
I like that.
Because it's new every day, so it's just now.
It's new every minute, it seems.
Yeah. So, but I would like, what I was getting to for Wednesday night was with my friend Coakley Co, but Thursday night is Corona Roki, is what I call it. My friend Dave Love, who is the producer of Corona Roki, I invite you to come back on Thursday night and come sing with us if you can.
I'll be more than happy to.
Yay.
At this time of night, I am the only one up in the house.
Oh, so what's a day like right now in this during this time?
Every day is kind of like a Sunday afternoon with homework. Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
not my homework. At least now that my teaching is done for the semester, I teach 1st and 5th grade to my kids respectively, while my wife still has her principal gig.
Oh, she's a principal of a school.
She is the principal of West Catholic High.
Very cool.
It's a tough job in any circumstance, and this circumstance is unique. There's no way she could have trained for this in advance, and I literally remember seeing her while I was gearing myself up for the change mid-semester, that she had to essentially go from a brick-and-mortar high school to an online high school in 3 days. And she did it. She was one of the first, if not the first school in the area to really make that change that quickly. And, she's excellent at her job. But yeah, she's still going on. So at this point, I have the early shift, and I get the kids done as much homework as I can. She sometimes helps out with Ella because she has a gentler hand. Not saying I'm mean, but I sound mean. And
you sound mean right now. I like that.
Well, I can. Ask some of my students. I freak them out at the beginning because I can be intense. And then the rest of the day, I do different things. Right now, I'm building my YouTube channel. I'm going through archives. I'm doing some writing that I've been meaning to do. I'll be able to do more. The kids, fingers crossed, allegedly are going to go to their theater camp that they normally go to in the summer, and they apparently have it mapped out safety-wise, which I'm happy about for them. But it will also give me some time, because my process of writing is I need time to be alone and pound away on the piano and scribble. And if I don't have it, it's very difficult for me to write, stop 15 minutes later, write again, stop. I wish I could do that. It doesn't work that way for me.
I get it.
99% of the time. So then the honeydew list, which is okay. We did a full house clean out. We had a humongous dumpster out. When we first locked down, we figured, well, we're going to have 2 weeks alone and have a decent amount of time, because the first week was my spring break. And so we went through every closet, every drawer, the unfinished basement, and we just tossed and or donated or gave away. And it was great. And then recently we painted the front room, which is
you guys did it.
We painted the kitchen. We redid Ella's room. We call her Princess Ella, but we redid the princess's room. So we've kept each other on our toes that way. The kids kind of keep us on our toes. There's enough to keep me busy. It's just, it's not quite the same for me. My life went from being out basically all the time to not being out any of the time. So it's weird.
Yeah.
It's the now norm, as you so eloquently called it.
I'm there. I just want to say a quick shout out. Thank you, Linda, for the donation. I really appreciate it. That was a nice Venmo. I hear that bling from Venmo. It's nice. Are you working on a new project?
Yeah. It's not so much a new project. The next thing to come out is most likely going to be 2 live recordings I did with Tony Garrow, who you've met. You've met Tony, saxophonist. We did 2 duo records at Music Fest in Allentown, where I sang and played, and he played horn. And
that's so cool.
And we got very good recordings from each. And so we're either going to do just 2 records each year, Volume 1, Volume 2, or we're going to go and do a best of and just put out one. Either way, we have some really nice material there. All the pianists can laugh. If they could only see my fingerings, they'd really laugh. And the thing I'm working on is writing is more of a long-term thing. I've been setting Shakespearean sonnets and poetry to music, and it's not easy, but I think there's some good stuff there.
Well, I love the stuff that we did APAP together, showcase.
Yes.
Together, and I pride myself in having my good swag at the table. This guy is a marketing. Do you do all that yourself? Do you do all the graphics and everything?
I get ideas from different people. I borrow liberally.
You've borrowed well.
Yeah. That being said, it's not easy. As we discussed earlier, independent artists, especially in the digital age, it's very difficult. When I first met you, it was, I don't want to say easy, but there was a definite market for what we were able to do independently, and maybe each release sell upwards of 2,000 to 3,000 units.
Yeah.
Which nowadays I'd be top of the jazz charts selling 2,000 units.
Right.
Because no one sells units anymore. But back then that was, that's a nice little sales bundle, and you made enough of a taste that you could basically fund your next project.
Buy some food, maybe some gas, fund your project.
Maybe do a small limited tour,
Right.
And nowadays it's not like that. It's just, it's a different type thing. You almost have to record and put out stuff simply for exposure. It's the most expensive business card known to men, and it's almost that age-old axiom from academia: publish or die. So it's just a different world, and I'm just doing my best to stay open-minded, adapt. I'm very blessed in many ways, but one of my great blessings, in addition to my family, is I have wonderful students, and they're always hipping me to new things. Generally, not necessarily in jazz, sometimes, but in terms of technology and what this is and what that is, and so I get ideas from that. They keep me relatively fresh with that type stuff, and for that I am eternally grateful.
That's great. That makes sense. Because again, the now norm. There's something new every day. Like I'm tackling what microphone to use, and then how to, the tripod, and just like little things to make this show the best that I can.
Oh, can I show you my Ghetto Pro?
Yeah, let me see.
1 second, I'm going to take you off this. Here, can you see
Edwin
this?
Heaven. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, good. eBay, $19.
Can I see it again? Please do. Is that for your? That's to hold the camera.
Camera, or I guess a small enough tablet, but it would have to be pretty small. I just have it on. If you can notice, a boom stand.
Yes.
I was not ready technology-wise to go into this, and so luckily I have some good friends that are tech heads. One of whom does a lot of sound and some engineering for me, and he lives literally 5 minutes away.
Very cool.
And he hooked me up with an audio interface. He hooked me up with a laptop that could do some of the things I needed to do, because I hadn't used a laptop in years. I'd been using tablets and phones, and I have a desktop, but it's in dog years it would be really ancient. So,
yes.
And this was something that I got the idea from a pianist in my area, Terry Kleinfelter. She's a very fine jazz pianist, and I saw that she had it, and I asked her, where'd you get it? She hipped me to it. I went shopping for the Best Buy, and I found it on eBay for $19.
Well, you might like this other thing that I have here. Hi, Ken. There's all these fun people on it. Bill Winokur from Boston. Do you have one of these?
I can't see it just yet.
Do you see it up here?
Oh, is that one of those light things for light behind it? No. If I showed you what I have in my other room, what I've done in this room to create kind of mood lighting, I'll take you off. Hold on a second. I have what looks like a fog hand over there. See that?
See that we put
so I have that uplit, and then I have my music lighting over here. And sorry to brighten.
No, that's okay. No, I brightened it with this circle light. But this circle light is you put it on your phone.
Behind it, right?
It clips on the phone.
Cool.
On the top, so let me lower you so you can see. Or if I clip it on here, let me take it off the chart. I clip it on the top of the phone.
Okay.
And then I turn the light on.
Oh, I have a halo.
And you have a halo, and then it makes the selfie. But I use it on my iPad here to light up and I have 3 other lights going on too. So I'm always messing around with lighting. My sister's a lighting designer, so I'm always sitting there going, "Ooh, if I do this, and if I have 2 and put it over here." But yeah.
Yeah, my front room where I occasionally will stream from. Because it's just a nice big room and there's the baby grand piano in there, I have some backlighting and it makes me look like I have a light coming out of my head. And it's like, but if I don't have that, the shadows look really weird in the room. So a friend of mine who's more of a arts presenter, but in the private area, and another person who is a lighting designer, they're going to try to hook me up with something once things lighten up a little bit. So,
yeah, that's.
I mean, once things lighten up a bit, I have on my shopping list. I need to get a laptop. I need to get an audio interface. So the shopping list is longer than my wallet is deep, but it is what it is because I don't want to get caught. Again, I hope and pray that we don't go through this again in the fall. But I'm a student of history, and I know that most things like this flare up again when things get cold. And I was able to teach my students. They seemed happy and pleased with what I did, but I wasn't pleased. I felt that it could have been better if I had better gear, and so I'm not going to get caught unawares. I'm going to do everything I can to make it as good as possible. For them, and naturally I'll get the side benefit of having better gear, but I feel that I owe it to them. So,
and I feel that about this. When I'm doing this show, I want to have the best possible. I'm running off a tablet and a phone. Sometimes you can split screen with people, but I originally I was holding my phone with people right here for like 3 weeks, and then I'd wake up in the morning, I'd be like, my hand can't move.
I bet.
And then I came to this. I have a little plastic bracelet that I put on my candle holder, and I propped it up with like seven books, and that was my tripod.
No,
so
if you can see behind me, I was propping up my phone on here and videotaping down this way as I played and sang.
So tell us, when are you doing virtual? Do you have a particular time of the week, day, night?
I've been going on at various times because the schedule sometimes with what my wife has been doing has been different. And so since right now she's still working full-time and I'm not, I'm pretty sensitive to that. I also realize that with 2 youngish kids that I try not to infringe on them being kids. And so I haven't been, for lack of a better word, regular. I know there are lots of jokes because I'm at an age where a man isn't necessarily regular, but hey, I just haven't been regular. The one thing I have kept regular, except for today, was I've been posting stuff on YouTube twice daily, generally around 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Oh, cool.
And a lot of it so far has been live stuff that was recorded on either video or through the board. And some of it's really good. It's, what I consider archival. Some of it has some of the best musicians of this region, some of whom I'm sure you know. I mean, you probably know Jimmy Bruno. You probably know of Orrin Evans. You probably know John Schwana. People that or around this area that I, played with Winston Bird, who's from the West Coast, he's in LA. Folks like that I did some live stuff with, and as well as a whole host of other wonderful musicians. And so I'm posting it, and sometimes I think, oh man, I remember this, and other times like, I don't remember this.
So they're all live. They're audio or video?
Some are video, most are audio, but what I've been doing is creating videos for YouTube. So creating more collages of photos and different artwork to kind of fit the mood of the particular song.
That's great.
Most are live, some are demos, and I still have a whole bunch more. I mean, it seems like every time I think I've found everything, I find more stuff. And again, is it, for lack of a better word, release quality? No, 99.9% of it is not release quality, but for putting out content and building a YouTube channel, it's perfect.
Which I don't know how to do the YouTube channel part, but I want to be able to. I want to create content for one as well, but I also want to get this show on YouTube. I want to be able to stream on YouTube and Instagram. And
isn't there a way to do both simultaneously?
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to do it either.
I believe that, but back to the conversation about getting the right equipment. I don't want to wait for perfection, but I think I need to, besides learning how to restream, there's like 3 or 4 different, there's Be Live, there's Restream, but I haven't learned that concept yet. But I also want to be as tight with lighting and sound and presentation before I go to the next level, I guess.
Totally understand.
But the YouTube channel thing that you're doing sounds really cool, and I would ask you, please, when we're done here, I will tag you in this video, and then in the stream, the comments, post anything you want, your website, YouTube channel, upcoming.
I'll post the YouTube channel. I'll post. I got all of my releases up on Bandcamp recently, which was a goal of mine too. And I'll post the website as well.
Yeah, I think Rolf and I are on Bandcamp. It's always so funny. You're like, yeah, Bandcamp. And 50-year-old people going, Bandcamp. Yeah, it's a whole different. I was at a conference recently. We do the. Man, my brain just went. Folk Alliance.
Okay.
And it's all about metadata. And most of the people that were there was a particular panel I was sitting in on, and everybody, I had to stand up. I'm like, can I ask, of the 5 of you, how many of you play instruments? And they were like, none of us. They're in the music business. And can I ask how old you are? And they go, basically they were all under, I think, 30, 31, 32. And I said, if you look in the audience, there's quite a bit of gray and balding and CD people. They're all Spotify and Spotify and video. So they're not even thinking about making a full 10 or 12 or however many songs. I do 11 songs on my CDs. They just make videos.
Yeah,
of their music.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I have former students that are starting to, our recording artist, Mike Lorenz, a wonderful guitarist. I didn't teach him guitar, luckily for him. But he's still a little old school in terms of he likes to release stuff on vinyl and CD on occasion.
Yeah.
But generally it's digital. But other students that age, it's all about video. The private gigs I do it, did. Hopefully
you will.
The once and future gigs. The younger clients, meaning like the brides, engagement parties, and things like that, they want video to see. They don't even just, here's what Lou looks like. Here's what Lou sounds like. Now imagine him doing this. No, they want to see video of me doing what I do. So an agent literally asked me, I'm having trouble selling this. Can you put something together? So I went into the front room, sat down, and just played, okay, here's like classical, here's some me just playing jazz solo, and here's me singing and playing, and here's me singing an Ave for your wedding or whatever. And it's just, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I can't do it. Obviously I can. It's just, it's very different from what I started out with. I remember bringing demo tapes in an actual press kit which was one of those old school folders, 8x10 photo
Heck
in with bio, and you'd stick your card in the card slot.
And all your articles and reviews and...
Yeah, you'd call the venue and they say, oh, we lost it, you know.
That took me an hour to make. Yeah.
Yeah, and it cost money. Nowadays, well, it doesn't cost me anything to resend the EPK to you. I'll just click, and there it is. But that
and
was...
the EPK is ever all evolving itself. Like yours, it's all about the video right now.
Yeah, well, the EPK, I just had it redone. The website, we're still trying to get the YouTube channel links. It's easier said than done. But we'll get it there. I mean, the YouTube channel is there. It's just a matter of getting it linked. And, you know, but these are the things I'm doing. It's not like I'm not working. I'm just not working for hire except by me. And me doesn't have enough money to pay me. So it is what it is.
Hi.
I dig. I totally dig.
When you do your next record, when you make the next recording, will you make CDs?
Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to. And I say unfortunately, not because I don't want disc makers, which is local to me. They're literally 20 minutes from me.
Oh, wow.
Not that I don't want them to make money, but because I feel that there's only two groups of people that want CDs anymore. One are DJs and record stations, radio stations. They still want hard copy. And a lot of critics, they want hard copy. They do not want digital. And so I'm basically spending, several $1,000s more essentially for those two groups of people. And no offense to them, I don't think it's money well spent, but I kind of have to serve those two masters to some degree or other.
Do you still buy and listen to CDs at your home?
Not as much. My wife wants me to get rid of my CD collection. I will not, because so much of it is not available. And I also have enough experience to know that digital stuff doesn't sound as good, and it's very easy for it to get lost.
My friend Michael said, when I asked the CD question and you answered it, the two demographics, and he said, and old farts like me. And me. There are people, I'm sitting above, in where I am right now, I have about 80 CDs at my feet, and I listen to them on a boombox.
I have boombox in the basement, to be fair, but I still have one boombox left, and it works perfectly well. It has Bobby Darin in right now.
I think I'm related to Bob. Lisa, are we related to Bobby Darin? I think we're related to Bobby Darin.
Well, I took from the same voice teacher as him and Tony Bennett.
Oh, cool.
Many years apart, obviously. Tony and I are not in the same demographic.
No, not at all. So yeah, there are people that still buy CDs at gigs, and three people I'm looking at right now have been supporting me. So thank you very much. I appreciate.
Cool. I still sell some CDs on gigs, but not as many as I used to. I used to go to a gig, and it was very rare when I didn't sell 5 or more CDs at every gig. The impulse buy.
Sure.
And that's not the same as it used to be. And I myself find I like the convenience of buying and or streaming online. I haven't taken Spotify plunge because I've heard some horror stories from musicians in terms of the remuneration policies.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to have to, whether I like it or not, because I know that for a lot of younger people, even people that are looking just to book privately. If you're not on Spotify, you don't exist.
Right. And it is interesting. Rolf and I are on Spotify, and then another woman I work with, Cookie Marenko, has Blue Coast Records. She has an online distribution. Hola, Nada. Hi. Sorry, my friend Nada's on from Sayulita.
Cool.
Hi, beauty. She's my yoga gal. Spotify, and
You were saying Blue Coast Records.
Blue Coast Records, and we will be at a show somewhere, and there will be young kids at the show. Young meaning, those 30, 27, 25, 30-year-old kids. And then they'll be on their phone the whole time. And then I go, hey, you guys on, this was last year. You guys on Spotify? All of a sudden they're like, yeah, she said Spotify. I go, can you like us? Next thing you know, pop, pop, pop. There's all these likes that we have on Spotify, but it's cool, and I'm played by, I don't know, 500 something or something year old. It's just another level to go. It's another level to be a part of that. But I don't listen to Spotify. I haven't done that either, but I know people check it out. And I love vinyl. I wanted to do my first record. I was going to mix Under the Influence for vinyl, but I just haven't done it. Do you have any vinyl?
No. The last record I did, I did a jazz album of Billy Joel
Yes,
tunes.
you did. It's a cool record.
It was a lot of fun to do. We were thinking about putting it out in vinyl as well as CD, and it was budgetary. It was one or the other. And again, if it had been up to Tony and I, because Tony produced it, we would have done the vinyl, because that's our generation.
Mm-hmm.
And we think it's just, the artwork can be beautiful when it's that big. And just the feeling of having that in your hands. But the DJs and the critics, it just would have been a mess. Imagine mailing that. Right. The costs of mailing that to that number of people, even if it's just a couple hundred each, the costs become extremely prohibitive. Even though the manufacturing is comparable, it's not that bad in terms of the manufacturing. We priced it out. It was, I think, and this is a couple years ago, so don't quote me, but I think the manufacturing would have only been like $100 more.
I believe
so
it.
For $100, it's not a big deal.
But then you have a couch of albums instead of a chair of CDs. You can make out of the CD boxes, you can make a cute little chair and maybe an ottoman, but with vinyl you would be making a couch.
The best thing about CDs is you can use them as coasters and feel like a record exec back in the day. Mm-hmm. And vinyl, it ruins the cardboard covering. It makes those little circles on it. It's just,
but with CDs, hey, you can just toss them around. Yeah, it is stunning how people they're on their phones and doing all this at a show. But that's just,
it's the culture. I don't take stuff like that personally, because I don't think it's meant to be personal. And a long time ago, I drummed that into my head that if it's not meant to be personal, just let it roll off your shoulders.
Because a lot of times they're videoing, they'll be sitting there video, or they're going, oh, I'm Facebook Live because you're so great. I'm Facebook Living so my family or friends can see you, and I'm like, cool, come on over here. But when they start talking on their phone in front of you when you're singing a ballad, I don't take it personally, but I might start singing what they're talking about on the phone, which I've been known to do.
I've been known to do some interesting things. The place I've been playing most recently, regularly before the shutdown, is a place called Eddie V's, which is a national chain, and they have live jazz 7 nights a week all around the country. And I literally am going through the entire restaurant singing and playing, so I can't really be making that hip a joke to people that might be in the restaurant portion, have no clue why all of a sudden in the middle of my derangement of how deep is your love, that I'm singing about someone talking about their steak tartare. So, hip as that might be to me.
My cousin Armando just made a good point. He said, but you can't roll a joint on a CD case. So.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
not a big joint.
Maybe not a big joint. Yeah, if you just did like a cute little, a pin joint. Yeah, when Springsteen did that tour, yeah, made them turn off their cell phones. No. That's Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, it's, and I think he may be doing it for other reasons as well as just wanting them to give him attention as an artist, deserves attention. For example, I'm sure you're aware of this, a lot of comedians now will not allow you to videotape their sets, because if they want to take any sort of risks with material and it falls flat, which if you're going to stand it's going to fall flat, they don't want it getting out and them getting caught up in cancel culture, which is a very real thing these days. So, I can appreciate the thought of that.
Did you say cancel? What?
Cancel culture, where if you say or do the wrong thing and it's captured, you could literally lose gigs. So a lot of comedians are very careful that they will not. You check your cell phone at the door as you come in. Being serious, not making that up.
I believe you.
I'm not at that level. People can videotape anything. I'm not what I would say is family friendly per se, but I'm not going to say anything that would get me in any more trouble than I'm already in.
So do you have any gigs still on the books?
If I don't laugh, I'll cry. I have tentative stuff in the summer that is tentative on. In Pennsylvania, we have different phases: red, yellow, and green. Philadelphia and the county I'm in, Delaware County, are still in yellow. And as such, that means basically you can't really do the gigs that we do. They're starting to open up restaurants for outdoors, maybe in a week or so. Mm-hmm. Churches are starting to open up, but they're not allowing singing in some cases. I'm a music minister in a Catholic church. Frightening though that may be to certain people, but I am. And that gig isn't back yet. That gig is not back yet. So right now,
even when you're in church, have you not? I'm sorry to interrupt. You haven't gone to church with just 2 or 3 people and they're zooming from the church? My church has been doing live streaming.
I did that once, and then because my church is a twin church. Do you know what that means? On the East Coast, because they were consolidating churches, they didn't necessarily close down a parish. They twinned it to another. And so they would still have the main church parish, and it would have maybe 1, sometimes 2 other churches attached to it now, so that it's all operating under 1 rectory and 1 pastor, because they don't have enough priests and they don't have enough money to operate 3 rectories. As I would say, necessity is the mother of invention, or necessity is a mother. And so I was on payroll as an independent contractor because that works better for me as a musician. The other musician at the Twin Parish, he wanted to be listed as an employee. So when the government money came in to pay employees, he got to get both gigs because they were only doing 1 mass. Originally the plan was, well, we'll do every other. And then it was, no, because we're getting money to pay him, and we're not getting money to pay you because you're under a different thing. So I was basically left out in the cold, which I get. I don't want them spending money they're not appropriated for. I get it. I don't take it again.
Yeah.
It's not personally, it's business. I would make that choice again in terms of for tax reasons that I can write stuff off and so forth. But it still is, I got the short end of the stick, and that's just the way it is. Where, I have more blessings than not. I really can't complain. But that's kind of what that is. So that gig hasn't come back yet. At EVs, we're in a holding pattern. As far as I know, they're in a holding pattern nationally. A place I play at regularly in the Lehigh Valley, I think that's going under. Chris's in Philadelphia is still in a holding pattern. And all the private gigs I had, Gainesville. And funny story, the agents for those gigs are having to basically, they're not getting more money and they're having to rebook them sometimes 2 or 3 times. Like, some of those gigs were canceled for May, and they said, well, this will be over by the fall. Let's reschedule them for August or September. And then 2 weeks later, Lou, could you possibly do this and of course, if I'm available, I say yes, I want to keep the gig. I had one gig literally rescheduled to next fall of 2021, and it was originally scheduled for May of this year. And I get it. I'm sympathetic that if I wanted to have the big wedding with my whole family there, that I want to have the big wedding with my whole family there. I get it. I don't know if I could wait that long, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's the now norm.
Thank you. That's a great term. I will use that.
It's the now norm. Well, I am so happy. Oh, you have to okay, Armando, thank you so much for being here. I love you, cousin, and I love everybody that's on here. Lots of fun people, and that why I do this is about community and connection and connecting Lou to all of you that were here tonight that scrolled on and stuck around, and check out his music. He's amazing. He's really fun. And one of these days, we're going to do something together.
You know what? The house is more set up for a house concert now.
Okay.
Because we have the way the baby grand is in the front room, it's set up so it fans out to 2 rooms, the dining room and the front room. Yes. The previous way with this piano, this was against the wall. It still looked nice, but it was against the wall, so that you'd have your pianist would have his or her back to the wall, and it's not as much fun. Now it's all facing out.
Well, it looks really cool too. I've seen
sometimes, except for the light coming out of my head.
Well, that's just part of your spirit. It's a lot to that. So you will be with us Thursday night.
I will.
Corona Roki. Okay. I will. Do you want? I think I'll put you on maybe 3rd. How's that? Does that work for you?
That's perfectly
fine. 2nd or 3rd, because then if it rolls around, then you could come back and do another one if you want. And everybody, and you're going to be accompanying yourself, right? Most people sing a cappella, just so you know.
Oh, well, I can do anything you like. I could sing a cappella, or I could accompany myself. I'll probably accompany myself if that's an option.
It's an option, totally an option.
That's more fun.
Cool. Well, you're a lot of fun, and we have 11 here, and I'm giddy that we were able to do this. Thank you so much, and please, you're welcome to come back anytime, because we could talk for a long time. And we could talk anyway. He always wishes me a happy birthday. All of a sudden I get, for a while there I didn't have your number in my phone, and I would get these happy birthdays. I'm like, who is this? And then I text back and go, oh, Lou Lanza. I'm like, oh, Lou, wow, thank you so much. And then I think I'm going to put you in my phone, but I'm on the subway and I forget. And then the next year comes around, who is this? Lou Lanza. And I'm like, damn. Then I put you in my phone. So I have had you in my phone for quite a while now.
Cool. Very cool. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We love you.
And I'll put that info on the scroll.
Okay, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
You have a good night too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Super cool, right? Super cool. Yeah, nice to meet Lou, right? I have to fix this one rogue gray hair that I never thought I'd say that word in my life. or statement, rogue gray hair. Whew, wow. Nada, when are you going to come on my show? Because now it's a show. Now, when are you going to come and hang out with me here? Nada. I'm calling you. Yeah. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. Check it out, Bill. I haven't seen you for a couple of days, but then I saw you online, so I knew all was good. And Marianne, I apologize for not calling you back today. I owe you a phone call. Perhaps I'll call you quickly when I'm done here. And Dee, thank you so much for the video and the texts. And Jim, I already know, I won't say. Jim works at USA Today, for USA Today. Mondo's off making dinner. I'm not sure. Julie, Jim, John. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Tomorrow day, 11 a.m., we'll just be chilling during the Now Norm. And where is Lil? Lil's on vacay. Lil's on vacay over at the Collins compound. Sometimes she gets a little bored and it's really hot up here. So I had her go take a vacay. And then she'll come back tomorrow. They have 7 children and they live on a cul-de-sac. So she comes back. I should go. She comes back about a pound thinner. So that's what I'm saying. I should probably go hang out there for like a week and see how much weight I'd lose, because there's something going on everywhere. And she's got the squirrels, she's got the dogs, she's got the 7 kids. They make dinners. They have cul-de-sac. There's kids that I'll be walking with Lillian down the street and they're like, "Hi, Lillian," and I'm like, when this first happened, I'm like, "How do you know Lillian?" "Oh, she's over at the Collinses. You're Jenna. You're the singer. You're the one that goes on the road." Because she doesn't come with me when I go to if I go to Europe, she doesn't come with. But yeah, oh, hi, Lil. Hi, Lil. We were in Indiana. We were in South Bend one day and someone goes, "Look, Mom, there's Lillian." And they were friends with the Collinses from Indiana. And so she has a really good time over there. She'll be looking at me like this for a couple of days. Speaking and think, oh, of course. It's great, Lou. Thank you so much. See you Thursday night. Hear you Thursday night. We get to hear Lou on Thursday. Before she went on vacay, I was doing a lot of, I don't know how to do this. I have this, how am I going to make, and I have this mic and all this stuff. And she was just sitting on the bed watching. And then it started getting a little bit too hot up here, and I asked if she could come visit, and she stayed a little longer than I thought, but I miss her a lot. I miss my girl. So what'll happen is she'll come home. She'll be so excited to be here. And then she'll sleep like right here. She does that anyway, but she'll be here. And she'll sleep for like 7 days straight. Not really, but she'll sleep because she's exhausted of hanging out with everything that's going on. And then after about the 2nd day, she's like this again. Boring. Even though she has a fabulous life. I make her duck and bison and not lately, but so cleaning again, Mom. Sitting in front of that pad with your face on it. Yeah, figuring out those microphones again. But when we're here together, we go for, I was going to spell out WALKS. We go for WALKS's, and then we play FRISBEE. Yes, I can't say that word in front of her either. but I can say things like Mama, Bill Winokur, Lou Lanza, East Coast, both of you. Bill's a drummer, along with his brother Bo, who's a trumpet guru, both of them. I'm glad you two are connected. Community and connection. 11:11 with Jenna. It's exactly why I do this. It's exactly why I do this. And today on the early show, 11:11 with Melanie, thank you very much for coming on and being supportive and suggesting, and Julie Luce, that thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, oh, and Jim Chang, we met in New Orleans. Jim lives in Louisville, and Julie lives in Fresno, and yeah. Lou, you just met a bunch of cool people, or they met you, and now I'm confident that in the next few years, months or years, we all will cross paths. That's what it's about. Kind thoughts. Gentle words. Pure, pure, pure. Y'all sleep well. Oh, cool. Your New Orleans Jazz Fest tickets are transferred to next year. See you tomorrow. Bill, yay, I'm glad you'll see me tomorrow. I am going to turn off this. The one thing about these circle lights, that you start seeing circles everywhere. Hi, Kim. See, and then people like Kim show up, and you can't just say goodbye then, because Kim's here. Kim lives in Arizona. Hi. Lisa was here earlier, but I think she went to bed, because she's a rancher. Oops. Sybil Savage shared a video. It's fun. It's good. And I didn't realize that Frida is not sitting upright. She's my co-host. Well, Lillian, you see Lillian in the photo right there? Lillian Pearl, Lillian Pearl, Lillian Pearl. Thank you, Collinses. And thank you all. And if you feel like donating, I have a Venmo page, I have a PayPal page, and I have Patreon. And I am told that everyone announces that in their show and also posts it on their page, and I've been reluctant about that, but I am doing it because I am providing, let's just say I'm providing a service, and what I like to say is I connect people. It's about communication and community and connection. But I have something that I wrote a while ago. I connect people to their emotions and comfort. That has nothing to do with this, but it's something that I wrote during a workshop that I was in. Okay, I had a beautiful night with you, and coming off of a pretty hard day that we've all had in the now norm, and I wish you all a restful night. Mama, if you're still here, I love you more than anything, and I will see you tomorrow. And the rest of you, I love you, and I'm super psyched. Thanks, Marianne. Thanks to all of you. Really hot. I'm not having a hot flash, it's just really hot here. Love hard.